Hi guys, welcome to Fierce and Pretty. Honey here. Today is just a little video about me doing a deck mod to a Marseille tarot deck. So if you know me, you know I'm more of a Thoth girl than a Marseille girl, but still I love things that either are old or that they really look old. And I don't know, the Marseille tarot kind of has that old vibe, and I managed to find this Tarot de Marseille Piatnik version that has already like really old looking images in it. Like the lines are not clear, the colors are not crisp. I got it from Amazon for like 20 euros or something. So I thought that this would be a perfect opportunity to do a little deck mod. So when I got the deck, I didn't know what the card material was and how much plastic it would have on it, but I thought that it was such an affordable deck that I wanted to give it a go. Because there was this, title card, so I did all my testing with it. And it had so much kind of plastic coating or something on it that it didn't really grip on the tea or anything. So I thought that, okay, let's just try to do something. And what I did was the edging first. So first I shuffled the deck to really get it mixed up, because I didn't want the two colors to show on the edging if the deck was in order. So I randomly shuffled them and divided the deck into half, then did half of the deck with the other ink and half of the deck with the other. And I used a lot of the ink because I didn't mind if it would bleed. I actually hoped it would bleed on the sides a bit, so I used a lot of it. Then after inking the edges, I just spread them all into the kitchen table, made a strong tea, and put the tea actually into a bottle that is normally used for window cleaning. And then I just sprayed the tea first on top of the images and just let it be there, and then after to the backs of the cards and let it be there. After that I took the blow dryer and dried each card one by one, which was kind of a sweaty job on a plus 30 Celsius degree day. Totally worth it. And after that I just stuck the whole deck between two books and put my heavy stone mortar on top of it, and it's actually in quite good shape, even though I used a lot of the tea. So the cards are already old looking, but there was no stains in the cards. It was just this off-white background, which I really liked, and because of the poor lines, this deck already looked old. And what was important for me is that I wanted round corners, because I really don't like shuffling decks with straight corners. Now if we look at the cards, each of them have a different patterns and different amounts of the tea staining. Some got more hit, which I like, and all look unique. So even though with the coating on the deck, because I sprayed the tea and let it be there like, I don't know, 15 minutes, and then dried it off with the paper and then blow dried it, it stuck quite nicely. And you can see in some of the edges the edging has bled in a lot more, because there was an uneven amount of tea that I sprayed on top of the edging. But I really love the end result. I also thought that maybe I would crunch the cards a bit, but then I didn't dare to do that. I'm just believing that the more I use the deck, the more it will get the old rustic look, and I'm not gonna be anyway extra careful with this deck. But I think the tea staining fits this deck really, really nicely. And I love that some of the cards got more hit than others. Also the backs of the cards have uneven stains, either from my fingers with the ink, but I also put some tea on the back side but I didn't leave the tea as long on the backside, but it has little blotches here and there. But mostly the tea staining looks better on the front. So after the blow drying, I took my favorite incense sticks, the dragon blood, put every card one by one, front and back, through the incense smoke, because I really wanted to spend time with this deck, really put my effort into it. And so I ended up putting the rest of the incense stick into the deck case to keep that beautiful smell in the deck. And also the box was big enough to fit my new special amethysts in it. Then on top of all the deck mod stuff, I wanted to really bond with the deck and to do something special. And because my cottage is on such a historic region, which I will tell you guys more in another video someday when I've done enough research, because the history on this place is so rich. It was hot day. It was like plus 32, which is a lot in Finland. I was sweating. I took the dog with me and we went to an old castle ruin really near to my cottage, because there are these old sacrificial stones from Iron Age. There are burial mounds from Stone Age, so the history is super rich. And these cup stones are these old ritual stones that the people back then made, where they would give sacrifice to the gods and requested their favors. And we were so lucky, me and the dog, because it was such a hot day that there was nobody else around. We found a beautiful place, the long grass around us, the burning sun on top of us, and we sat to the grass next to the sacrificial stone. I didn't have any alcoholic beverage with me, but for my sacrifice, I gave some water to the stone for myself and the dog, because I think we all needed it. And I had something special also to give on top of that. And actually I gave the dried flowers and oak leaves that were in my cauldron the whole night during our summer solstice ritual. And I laid the deck on the stone, and I was holding my Ukon Vasara, the hammer of the god Ukko, that I have hanging around my neck. And I read a few of these old spells or incantations or poems. They don't really have an English names, these old Finnish spells. And I read it out loud to the gods with my humble request. And the whole moment was so, I don't know, special and magical. The sweat was dripping from my head and all over my body. And the old spell or prayer, it is long in old Finnish language, but I'm just gonna read you a few rows that you can hear some of it. Ukkonen, ylinen luoja, pilvenpäällinen Jumala, remupilven reunimmainen, minä otan sinut avukseni, tuekseni, turvakseni. And then when I looked up into the sky, when I was done, and I saw sun coming in between the clouds and just putting its rays on me. And I held again my hammer necklace and spoke to Ukko, the god high above, and asked if he hears me, that I'm here, I'm down here, and willing to listen if they have any guidance for me. And then we left the place and we went to this beautiful garden cafe, had a coffee and a rose soda, which was delicious on a hot day, and it tastes like roses. And I sat with my deck there for a while and came back home and did my first reading with this deck. And I used this spread that I found online asking for guidance. And I really loved how well we worked together, me and this deck. And when I was done with my reading, and actually also the journaling that I did after the reading. At least James should be proud of me, because I've started to journal a bit with my important readings. But I did journal the reading, and the hubby came home and we went for a swim. And after like half an hour, the thunder started to rise. You know, this calm thunderstorm that comes on a hot days. And we were on the lake, and I was watching the clouds on the other side of the lake when I saw clear big lightning just hitting into the water. And on that moment I really felt that Ukko was there talking to me, because, you know, it was said that Ukko is like Thor, and when he's beating his hammer he's making the thunder, and then there was this lightning. And kind of in that moment I felt with the connection with my earlier prayer on the sacrificial stones. So that was the story time of my deck mod with the Tarot de Marseille Piatnik deck, and I will let you know more about the history of this place when my research is done. Until next time, bye guys!